Hey guys and gals, Caleb Castelaw here with Scallop Shapes, and today we're going to be talking about the process and the stoke of building your own shaping bay. So shaping surfboards, whether just for yourself or some of your friends, can be an extremely rewarding experience. You're going to be really stoked and tap into your inner Big Z from Surf's Up.
You see what I'm doing here? You let the tool do the work, you see? Just like you're riding a wave, you let the wave do the work.
If you know who I'm talking about, shout out to Big Z. But it can get really messy and you're gonna need a fair amount of tools, and a shaping bay, a dedicated space, is crucial. So the first thing you have to figure out is the space that you actually have. We know that space is limited. If you have a giant backyard and you can build a shed, yeah, you can build it, 16 foot by 20 foot and have all the space you need. But for me, we figured out that the perfect size would be an 8 foot by 12 foot shaping bay, 8 foot wide by 12 foot long. That'll give me just enough space if I want to do a log. I don't shape too many longer boards, mostly short boards, so I think my space should be adequate for me. So after you figure out the exact space you have and design how you're going to build it, the first thing you need to do is clean up that space. You want to really get everything out of the way for where you're going to build. This will just make the process go a lot faster. And after you have the space clean, after you have it open, the second thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to frame up the walls. Luckily for me, I have already 2 walls in place. Essentially, I'm using a garage door as a wall, and then the side of the garage is already in place, so I have to frame up 2 walls. You can frame up walls. You can find out how to do that on a lot of other videos. I'm not a carpentry expert, so I'll leave that up to the experts. But essentially, what we did is went to Home Depot. We got a bunch of 2x4, a bunch of 8 foot and 12 foot 2x4. We framed up one 11 foot wall and one 8 foot wall. The 11 foot wall, we were thinking about possibly putting a window in that. We decided not to. And the 8 foot wall, as you can see behind me, has a door. So the 8 foot wall does have a door that will help just create some more space. I can open up the door. It's just a good access point. We decided to go with some more support in between the studs at 3.5 and 4 feet. This is because one of my walls is a little bit freestanding. It's not totally grounded. To give it to some stability, we wanted to put some supports in between the studs. After you have your walls framed up, you're going to stand them up. First, I stood up the 8 foot wall, and you're going to want to secure that to your third wall. So we have the third wall already there, and you're going to secure the one wall into the other wall. I just used it by extending one of the studs with a 2x6 and nailing the 8 foot wall into that 2x6. It works pretty well. It's probably not construction standard, but it's a shaping bay. It is what it is. So after you have all the walls framed up, the next step is to put in the electricity. Luckily, my mom is a former electrical engineer, so she knows a bit about electricity. We ended up going with, there's going to be one big light at the top. We're going to have our 2 side lights, 8 feet long on the sides. And then we have a few extra outlets as well for the planer, the vacuum setup, the air compressor. We're probably gonna use sander, router, all the tools that you use for shaping. So we have plenty of outlets. I think that's really important if you're building your own shaping bay. Also, what we're going with is a vacuum setup. So the vacuum and the planer will be hooked up. This is gonna minimize a lot of the dust. You probably see this in a lot of different professional shaping bays. They have a vacuum bag setup, which it keeps your eyes safe and it minimizes a lot of the dust from the planer. So after we have our electricals in, the next step is to do the drywalling. So we're gonna go to Home Depot, get some of the drywall, and we're going to seal off the inside, and I hope it'll look good. After we drywalled, we did paint and primer. Obviously you can see there's a big change in how the shop looks now. So we primed it up, painted it, and added in all the nice finishing touches, put on the shelves with the side lights, sealed it all up, and then yeah, now it's pretty much done. It's all good to go and pretty stoked to start shaping. So now I'll just show you a walkthrough of kind of the finished product and what it all looks like. So yeah, enjoy.